we're live.
Folks, it's getting to be time. So, what I had hoped to do was make an acknowledgement about Law Day today. I was obviously hoping for a slightly bigger crowd. That is actually doubled by the number of police officers we have with us.
There you go. Happy May Day. Yay. Power to the people.
So, the event today is just an acknowledgement of questionable political/legal process on Staten Island, the showing of the new courthouse, which is supposed to have been opened up already, but is still in the process of being finished, and then walking to the Forever Young Senior Center, which is now closed. That courthouse is estimated to cost at least $250 million. I have suggested more like $500 million. The Ferris wheel shopping complex down here is another $500 million of private investment. These are not the things that the North Shore of Staten Island needs. I am a refugee who is also a wounded Vietnam veteran. I lost my home a couple of years ago due to a nightmarish New York State Supreme Court civil part legal case. That is why I got interested in Occupy Wall Street. I thought with collective voices we could make for what these words on the front of my shirt mean: democracy and justice for all. This is my neighborhood. I grew up and lived all of my life in New Brighton. You had Cromwell Center right down the street. Well, from the age of a little kid, played basketball. As I got older, I went into the Golden Gloves to do a little boxing. 44 years ago, I was drafted and got on a bus from in front of the Staten Island Post Office to Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn, where I questioned why we were in Vietnam and became a security clearance risk, and proved in the next year of Vietnam that I was a valuable asset to any combat platoon, being decorated for valor and being wounded 3 times. I came back to Staten Island. I was filled with poverty, filled with overdevelopment and corruption. We had a congressman named John Murphy at the time who thought he could use his political office for embellishing his pockets. He was indicted and found guilty during the Abscam investigations. From that early time, 40-some years ago, after I got drafted, to today, I have not seen the betterment of Staten Island. I left my lifelong community of New Brighton by force to go to Midland Beach. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Hurricane Irene hit in 2011. We were lucky. 2012, Hurricane Sandy came in, and I got literally washed out for the second time from a home of mine. I have spent the past 6 months helping out my fellow neighbors in the shorefront community of Staten Island fight to try to get back their lives. Every Saturday I make a walk from Oakwood Beach, Fox Beach Avenue, to Midland Beach, Ocean Breeze, and sometimes South Beach, from where Officer Kasperzak died on Doty Avenue to where Filipowicz, John Sr. and John Jr. and Lenny Montalto died on Fox Beach Avenue. for me, that was the best of what Staten Island was. Helping people, helping families try to get back from their pain and their suffering. It still goes on today. Right now, we're worried that the city is going to close down the Newdorp Cedar Grove Beach Relief Center, run by Donna Graziano. For me, standing in front of Borough Hall and standing in front of the Supreme Court is not standing in front of these two words, justice and democracy. It's standing in front of just us, the political and legal elite that controls Staten Island for their gain. And it's been that way for most of my life, as far as I can remember. We have to take this day and demand justice from all, from the courts, so the scales of justice will be balanced. The officers here around us know from their work inside the courthouse that the dice are rolled in favor of the rich and the powerful. We have to change that. Soon, another member of the Good Old Boys Club is going to be named Borough President of Staten Island. The fix is already in. James Otto should not be Borough President. He left his community down there in Grant City from 94 Lincoln Avenue, where I had a conversation argument with him one time over the future of Staten Island. He went to corporate headquarters on Staten Island, South Avenue, 900 South Avenue, to work deals like the big wheel, the Ferris wheel for rich tourists. So rich tourists could come to Staten Island, spend their money over here, instead of having private and public projects to help the poor people from Park Hill and Stapleton to Mariners Harbor and Arlington Terrace. That's where we should put our efforts. Staten Island used to be alive with productive jobs. Right down the street here, U.S. Gypsum, Bethlehem Steel, Procter & Gamble, Sun Chemical down in Rosebank, SS White down close to Tottenville. We lost that. We gave it up. We gave it up for Wall Street. We need those jobs. We need to make it here on Staten Island for all of us, not just for the few elite. And that's who runs the show here. So remember, May 1st is Law Day. The law is not our law. Law Day is not our day. I want to walk up the street with you to show you the new copper tone courthouse that looks like something from outer space. Then I'm going to show you the closed down Forever Young Senior Center. That is a travesty that seniors in our area can have a community center to come and socialize in the last years of their life. So today, folks, the idea is about fighting for justice and democracy for all. Thank you for coming. You are the brave and the few. Thank you for the police officers for also being here to maintain the safety of the people of Staten Island and visitors to it. Thanks for coming. Let me show you the new courthouse. Thank you.
And happy May Day, everybody. Bill is right. What's up, Karuma? The political structure seeks to consolidate power and wealth. The working class seeks to liberate it. That's where the struggle lies. The working class, those who do the work, should run the show. Even these police officers are aware that they have more in common with us than they probably have with their superiors who they get their orders from. We need a government that demands justice and works for the public interest, not for the corporate state on Wall Street. Wall Street doesn't represent Main Street. It doesn't represent farm-to-market roads. It doesn't even represent suburbia anymore. They eat their own. Power to the people, public interest, not private control. We can see what this government stole.
Folks,